Now open your browser and search for Anaconda for Windows, which is this very one here. So click on the first link. So right here, there is no provision for download yet. So all you have to do is to make sure you come here and fill in your email if you need to. But in my own case, I am going to skip that particular part. So just go ahead and click on skip registration. So you can come over here and click download for Windows. So if you're using Mac, you can actually Google for Mac or Linux right here. So I'm gonna click on download. And my download has just started. Can you see it right here right now? That is it. All right, once your download has been completed, you're gonna see something like this. Now it is time for it to install. Just double click on it and have it installed. So it's a very simple something to install. Click on next over here. Now you have to make sure you agree to this. So it's something very important and you cannot disagree. Let us just click on I agree. So now you might want to just say just me or recommended or all user required admin. I don't want to go with this particular second one. Let us stick to this particular first one here. Then you go ahead and click on next. So once you have done that, you don't have to change this particular part right here or the folder here. Just click on next. Right, for everything here, I'm going to leave them checked, and those ones that are not checked, I'm going to leave them the way they are. So now just wait for it. All right, the installation has been completed. You can just click on next and click on next again and just click on finish. So this one here is optional if you want to sign up. There's a free tutorial right here that you can actually take to learn, Python. But this is not gonna really help you. I don't know, maybe it will. So you can just check it out. So in our own case right now, we want to go to our, our PC, and over here, just click your Windows key, which is the Windows icon, and search for Anaconda right here. So here you go. Look at this particular one here. This is your Anaconda navigator. So this is the one you're going to actually use a lot to actually, write your Python code. So the next thing you need to do now is to click on this to launch it. So, all right, when you actually, launch Anaconda Navigator for the first time, you're going to have something like this. So it's going to prompt you to some kind of sign in or sign up, whatever. So just go ahead and cancel this because you don't actually need it. So go ahead and cancel this. You don't need it. It's optional. If you want to keep it, so you can actually sign up. Okay, let me quickly walk you through what we have right here. So over here, if you click on this particular part where it says all applications, you're going to see all the applications inside Anaconda for you to use for your projects. So now if you click over here, it's going to actually give you the list of the installed, applications that you actually need, right? So from here, what we're going to be using is going to be this particular, okay, I think it's this particular Jupyter notebook right here. This is what we're going to be using to create our project. So this is exactly what you need. And we're going to be looking at this in detail and see what it is that we need to learn from here. All right, now let us launch, Jupyter Notebook for the first time. So all you have to do is to click on this particular part right here where it says launch. So just give it some time to actually come up. So right now, if it pops this particular, how do you want to open this file up? You can choose which particular, browser you want to actually use to code, Python. So I'm going to click on this particular one right here. And I can only say, okay, let us always use this particular app here. So make sure this one is checked and go ahead and click on OK. So now you have all the files inside your PC opened right here. So you can see here is the desktop file you have on your PC. Just click on it and you can actually see all the things you have inside the desktop. So, on case right now, we're going to actually launch our first environment to start, writing our Python code. So click over new here and click on this particular Python here where it says Anaconda. So click on it. So it has just opened this particular place for us, which is the environment where you can actually start our coding right from. So if you click on this particular on title here, you can rename this to whatever you really want. So let us name this one to my first program. All right. Once you've done that, you can click on save, and that has this one named for you, right? So coming over here right now, you can see several things you can actually do. Maybe if you want to actually do any adjustment, this is where it is. So we're going to be looking at this in detail in the subsequent videos to come. But for the time being, let us actually write our first Python code and see if truly Python is working on our machine. Okay. The very first thing I'm going to do right now is to actually use that particular common one that everyone will do for the first time. Let us say print. So for the print now, we're going to open bracket to actually tell it what to print. Inside this particular parenthesis and double quotation here, I'm going to say hello world. So you close this and hold your control key and hit the enter key. This will actually print hello world for you right here. So if you have just gotten to this particular path, you have written your first Python code, and this is amazing. It's actually working 100%. So to add a new one now, your shift key, hit the enter key. That actually creates a new, path for you to actually type in your next Python code. This is what it is. Okay, let us write a little bit complex. For the first time, it's going to be complex if you have not done any Python coding before, but it's something very simple and easy. So we're going to create a variable called name. So my variable is actually on a small letter. So I call my variable name. So with my variable name right now, I want to store in the name of my son in here. So let's store in Mizan. Okay. So if you want to go to the next line, you just hit the enter key. Don't hold the control key or the shift key. Just hit the enter key and go to the next line. So it's going to ask me I'm going to actually give it age. So the age of my son, let's say, is just 2 years, right? Just 2. So the next one is to go into the next line. Over here, I'm going to actually use the if function to actually program this. So using the if function over here, I'm going to say if age is greater than 28. Okay, sorry, 18. Let's do 18. Then, so we are going to put this here and hit the enter key. We break into the next line. For everything I'm doing right now, it has rules. Just follow me step by step. In the next videos to come, or in the subsequent videos to come, I'm going to break it down and show you how it should be done so that you don't just copy what other people are doing. So the next part now is going to be what I want to print if it is actually greater than 18. So just go ahead and print. Please, your print should be in small letter, not capital letter. So I'm going to say print. So with the F here, very important. I'm going to teach you what the F stands for, but just watch this. Okay. Now we want to print the name of my son. So over here, we're going to use this particular curly bracket to print that. So all you have to do is to just say name. That means you're calling the variable. So we close the curly bracket right here. So I'm going to say is an adult, which it is not. So over here, we close this and we close this. So once we've done this now, we just need to go and say else. So the else part right now, if it is not, so we want to print. So don't forget the F right here and the curly bracket. Inside the curly bracket, we want to actually say name, which is Mizan, is stored inside this particular variable called name. So is just a baby. Can you see this? So go ahead and close this. So if you're done, just go ahead and hit your control key, hold it down, then hit the enter key. Okay, we have an error right now. So whenever you actually make any silly mistake, this is what Python will actually throw out to you. So now, as you can see, we have this error, and Python is smart enough to always tell us where the error actually occurs. So over here, as you can see, it's telling us that this here that we close, something is wrong with it. So if we look at what is going on right here, right now, we're supposed to open a bracket after print before F. We didn't do that, but we closed it. So we need to do just that. So with my enter key right now, it says Mizan is just a baby. What if I actually come over here and say Mizan is 20? So I hold my control key, enter key, Mizan is an adult, right? To run it, you can actually click over here to run, or you can actually do control and you hit the enter key. That will run it for you. So we have just written our first Python code. The next thing right now is to understand this particular code we have written so far. What does it really mean, and how can we understand this? Okay, the very first part of this code is actually this particular part right here. So this particular name here is actually your variable, right? So what does it do? It helps you to store in Mizan without repeating Mizan over and over again. All you just have to do is to use the variable to actually, get what you want from it. Okay, the next part again is actually this particular age right here. So on this particular age, we store in 20, which we can actually change to actually meet up what we really want to actually return. And we are actually using some kind of condition here to condition it to actually give us something we really want. So over here, what this particular part is saying is that if age is more than 18, that is greater than 18. So we know if that is what the case is, that means it's going to give us over here is an adult. So who is an adult? This here. That was why we have name. So Mizan is an adult. Can you see what we've printed out right here? So the next part here simply says else. Next part here says else, so which means if Mizan is not greater than 18, what do you want to actually happen? So we actually print this out and say we want Mizan to, Mizan will now be is just a baby. That was because Mizan is actually less than 18. So can you see how this works right now? It's something very simple. If this is your first time, trying your hands on Python, we're going to be learning Python together step by step. All you have to do is to make sure you subscribe and follow me on this particular channel through the journey of learning Python for data science and data analytics and anything at all you want to do with Python. All you have to do is to understand the syntax that you need to write to bring your program to life. So see you in the next videos.